What's cracking with your people?
We are back.
Anansi and X, and we just got done watching DOA Dead or Alive, the live-action adaptation movie of the Dead or Alive video game franchise that came out in 2006. It was done by one of the directors who did Trent. I want to say it's Ewan. I forget his first name. I want to say his last name is Ewan.
Yeah.
And for full disclosure, I have a huge Dead or Alive vibe, because I'm a big fan of the franchise. This is X's very first experience with the franchise in its entirety.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the games. I've heard of it. I've never played them. I didn't know there was a movie until he told me about it. So yeah.
Actually, a lot of people didn't know there was a movie about this for the longest time. I feel like if you were a hardcore fan back in the day,
you would know.
You would know.
Yeah.
Because for reference sake, for those of you who don't know, 2006, the year this movie came out, that was the same year that the Xbox 360 released.
Oh,
that was the same year that Dead or Alive 4 released. I believe that's a launch title for the Xbox.
Yeah, I did hear about that. Yes.
Same year that Sonic the Hedgehog reboot. It's called Sonic the Hedgehog, but it's been like, just to kind of shorten it or just make it more simple, it was called Sonic 06 because the original Sonic the Hedgehog was called Sonic the Hedgehog. I believe Mortal Kombat 9 came out the same year.
Okay.
No, my bad. That came out 2011 because I remember that one's called 2011. So no, I got that wrong. And Dead or Alive Extreme Beach 2 came out that year, I want to say.
I've never heard of that.
It's a spin-off franchise where you play beach volleyball. It's basically you get to play volleyball and watch the girls play in bikini. That's basically That's better than you think, but it is what it is. Nothing more than just that.
Gotcha.
Is there anything else that came out that year? Oh yeah, I believe Halo 3 came out that year.
Okay. I never played Halo, so I don't.
Yeah. So that's the reference point for this. And let's open up with X. What did you think of this movie?
Well, when I first got into it, I really was like, "What the hell is this?" Because it was so cheap. It looked so cheesy. Because I'm so used to like high-end cinematography. So when I saw it, I was like, "Oh God, is this another cheap B-roll funny flick?"
Yeah.
But I didn't know. I knew it was cheap, and I know it was some type of B movie, but I didn't know it was gonna be funny or not. But it started off like at a temple, and then the princess, who I cannot remember her name.
Kasumi.
Kasumi. In the beginning, she starts. She says she needs to go off somewhere and leave the temple. Then she starts walking down away from the temple, and then it just quickly cuts to another what was it, another clan, and
they don't make it obvious in the movie, but in the games, the ninja clan she is from actually has two sects to it. There's the main sect, which is basically like the upper class, the rich nobles, and then there's basically the Black Ops group.
Okay.
So any of you seen Naruto, think of it like this: you have your basic ninja, like what Naruto is, Sasuke, Sakura, all of them. That's what their main shtick is, and then you have the Black Ops, the covert ops, the Anbu Black Ops, basically people that handle the dirty jobs.
Gotcha.
That's what that's what it's supposed to be. But for some reason, they just made that secondary sect the ubiquitous sect of the entire thing.
Okay.
So they didn't do a good job at that, but I understand why they did it.
Yeah.
And I remember that because you were asking me in the opening 10 minutes of the film, because all this happened in the first 5-10 minutes.
Yes.
You were asking me is this serious? Are they playing serious? And I said, oh no, this is a complete joke. They are having fun with this.
Yeah, because it wasn't the reason I asked Brad's question was because the way they were encountering each other with the swords, it just didn't feel like it was meant to be serious. So I'm confused, and now I kind of know what they're going for, but then I'm not too sure. And that's why I asked him. And then it has if you see most martial arts films, they have the person float running on water or on top of people. The way that she did it in this movie was so horrible to me. I was like, oh my God, this is I don't know if the director was trying to be funny or joke. He kept telling me it's not meant to be taken seriously, and I was really about to give up within the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then she throws the blade at the wall, and I'm not even joking about this. She jumps on the blade like it's a trampoline and goes all the way up in the air and does a swan dive into the clouds. And
it's terrible CGI.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I get it's 2006, but CGI is still bad.
Yeah, it's still bad.
I said CGI, the green screen, I should say.
Yeah, and then pops out some mechanical wings.
Yeah.
And then this is what makes it worse. On top of this, so they have the camera set on her face as she's gliding through the clouds. Then out of literally out of nowhere, it's some type of mechanical blade ninja thing, and she grabs it midair, and then she just points it at the camera and says DOA, and then cuts to the intro. I'm like, what? Where did that come from?
And I'm sitting here the entire time. I'm like, aside from the paraglider backpack she has,
that's what it was. Yes.
Everything about that is basically how Dead or Alive feels.
Yeah, because I was like, I was still baffled. I was like, he kept saying this. I was like, are you serious? This is how it is in the game. I gotta see the game then, because so far this movie is not pulling me in. And then so the crazy part is it gets crazy. So it starts introducing the different characters, and then there's Jimmy Precious' character, who's played by her character's name is Tina, I believe. And she used to be a wrestler, and is she a country wrestler?
It's not that she's a country wrestler. She's Texan.
Oh, to Texan.
Because,
I apologize. Yeah, Texan.
Because how the Dead or Alive games, because the Dead or Alive games came out, the original game came out in like '98 as an arcade cabinet. Ooh. It didn't actually get like a full-fledged story until the second game came out for the Dreamcast in 2000. That's when you actually got some story mode. Well, I say story mode. You basically got character ladder endings for fighting games, and you get like small bits and pieces of story here. Characters will interact with each other. You get a little bit of background from that. Yeah. It wasn't until like Dead or Alive Dimensions, the DS port of the first 4 games, that came out in like 2000. I think that one came out in 2006 as well.
Oh, really?
It's not 2006, it's 2008. Okay. And it basically said, okay, we're about to release 5. Here's a story for 1 before for all you who didn't get caught up. Also, it's on the DS. Why, I don't know. They changed some things around for that one, and this was mostly just them streamlining the process of the narrative. This is when Team Ninja were trying to be more narrative focused with their games. Yeah. This came out around the same time. I want to say Ninja Gaiden 3 came out, which was the game that's like, okay, 1 and 2 was about Ryu toppling a Russian government run by a demon. Number 2 is about him going to hell and fighting a version of the devil hidden inside a mountain. How about number 3? We focus on him being a killer.
What?
Like I said, the Ninja Gaiden 3D games are, narratively speaking, all over the place, but they're still hilariously fun.
Yeah. That was out of nowhere.
like when I say that the over the top paraglider stunt that happened in Dead or Alive is actually more in keeping with Ninja Gaiden's feel.
Oh god.
And in this one, get a little bit off topic here. I remember Ninja Gaiden 2. You get done fighting through this giant like helicarrier thing, right? Okay. And it's crash landing. You just got done fighting your one of your rival characters. The plane gets cut in half. He falls away with this stoic look on his face, yeah. And you know this is gonna kill me, man. I'm not dying. I'll be right back. He just keeps falling backwards and backwards. Oh, and Ryu's like, okay, here's my love interest for this game. We're falling from the sky.
Yeah.
And we're about to crash into a mountain. How do we escape this?
Does he escape?
There's a motorcycle right there. Let's see if we can ride this up on the airplane.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I need to make sure I'm understanding what you just said. So you're talking about the plane split? No, it was cut in half.
The plane is fallen in half.
Yeah, fallen in half. The guy just sitting there like you just said last month. You know I can't die, right? And so he's falling.
And he's not even saying it. He's just looking at you
looking. Yeah. But either way, he's still falling in the air.
Yeah, it's and they're above the clouds.
Yeah.
So they're high up.
But he sees the motorcycle that's all the way down there.
No. The motorcycle is is it's implied that unless I'm mistaken, you either play through the segment where you're running back towards the hangar to grab it,
Okay.
or they do, or the cutscene cuts to the back of the hangar, and he sees a motorcycle, and he's just like, I'm gonna ride this bitch down.
Okay.
And when I say it's the most ridiculous but funnest thing ever,
Yeah.
it works. But yeah, getting back on topic. Yeah, so Tina's character, what I'm saying is that, their life is an overtop representation of everything.
Gotcha, yeah.
So each character is a caricature of what it represents. So basically, Tina is Texan.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
But she's supposed to be a southern girl, but basically, as far as foreign countries are concerned, there's only New York, Texas, and California in America.
Okay.
And let's be honest here, are they really wrong?
Yeah. He ain't lying. Good Lord.
So that's why the three Americans in the game are either from Texas or it's the black guy from New York.
Yes.
So she is a
Texan.
she's a Texan. She's a southern country girl. She is the daughter of a famous wrestler, and actually, canonically in the games, they're the two best wrestlers.
That dude is funny to me.
In the series.
That dude is funny to me, and I'll get to him in a second.
Yeah.
And then the other one, who is played by Sarah Carter. Her character is Helena. Is it Helena?
Yeah, Helen.
Yeah, Helen. Sorry, Jesus. And that scene, my jaw dropped because it cuts to a hotel scene and it has the romantic music in the background. And
That's Christy.
That's Christy.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Helen's a different character. My bad.
Oh no, you're good. Christy. And but Christy's character, Christy's character is it's weird because it cuts to her being in a robe and romantic music playing in there. She's tied up to a chair with I think 2 or 3 guys in there with her. I guess getting ready to like kill her or something like that.
No, she's not tied to the chair. She's basically being interrogated by the police in Hong Kong.
Yeah, my bad, interrogated. Then she does this weird thing with her shoe, flips it in the air, takes her robe, and then beats the crap out of them.
Yeah.
And then gets herself a DOA too, which out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I don't understand where that comes from. That was blowing my mind.
Yeah, and the weird thing about it is like all the characters in this film, they're basically all participants in their life. They're all on the roster. But if you're a fighting game fan, you know that even though it's a fighting game,
yes,
and even though there might be a tournament aspect in there somewhere,
it's still comedic.
No, not every character is actually in the tournament.
Okay.
I think Street Fighter might be the only game that I think that there actually isn't. No, there's a Street Fighter tournament, but I think it's like of like the entire roster. I think it's like maybe like a third of it's actually in like the
a third, not the whole entirety.
I have to look that one up again. You guys can remind me in the comments. Feel free.
Yeah.
But with Dead or Alive, of all the characters that have been in the series, Christy has canonically, as far as I know, never actually participated in the tournaments.
No, she hasn't, because like in the movie she was in one tournament. That was it.
Yeah, and that was determined from the movie.
Yeah, that was it just for the movie.
And I think that's just because the director. I'll get more into that what I think we're trying to go for later. But the director was hyper focused on this is a fighting game franchise about sexy women and muscled men.
Yeah, that's about it. And then like the main person that I like the most, as far as the character, is Zach.
Oh yeah, that's the New York DJ.
Yeah, who's played by Brian J. White. He is funny because when they first introduced his character, he's over here trying to act smooth and everything, trying to talk to Tina, and she has no interest in him.
Yeah,
but
which is true to the games.
Yeah, yes. And the funnier part is when they start scanning like all the contestants, Zach is in there like he's in a club. Yeah, you can't handle Zach. Yeah. I'm like, what?
And I'm gonna be honest with you. Do you think Damon or Marlon Wayans would have been a better pick for that character?
I think Marlon would have been perfect.
Hey, no disrespect to homeboy. He did a fantastic job.
Yeah,
but looking back now, it's like if they could get one of the Wayans bros.
No,
right?
I think Marlon. All of them would have been best for them.
Yeah.
Because Marlon has that charisma where he can just do something on the fly. He is hilarious. And then like like throughout the movie, like they get scanned and everything, and then and the weird thing about that was like you said with the tournament, it was supposed to be this big huge tournament, and I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think out of the whole entirety of that movie, I think I saw only 2 fights, and they were short.
In terms of the tournament, there were actually more fights, but all of them were short, but not all of them memorable.
Yeah,
because Kasumi had to fight Leon, Christy fought Helena,
Yes.
Tina ended up fighting her dad.
Yeah,
Max,
I remember that part.
and then she fought Zack.
Oh, that's right. No, she did. Okay. Now,
um,
see that part. I didn't know for sure if that was an actual fight in the tournament or
Yeah,
just
yeah.
or just some fighting in general.
That was fighting in the actual tournament.
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
And then there were other smaller fights sprinkled out between there, but they were more like, hey, fans of the franchise, can
Yes.
you pick out which character is which in these fight scenes?
Oh.
And honestly, credit where credit's due. I knew who every character was.
That's good. Yeah.
With the exception of one, because they had a character called Tomi, and her name is on the screen. You can see her. You can see her name in the video in the movie at one point.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw her fight.
No,
I don't think her fight appeared.
No, actually, no. I don't. No. She didn't because it was meant. From what I remember, it was Christy and Helena, and then like you said, Tina and her dad. And Tina and Zach, that's the only ones I saw.
Yeah, and it was Kasumi and Leon a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
But I'm more specifically mentioning like the snapshot scenes.
Oh,
Where it's
no,
a
yeah.
short, like 2-second clip of them
Yeah,
fighting.
yeah.
And that's more or less like, okay, you're a fan of the franchise, you should recognize the characters.
Gotcha.
And I get why they can't have like a legit tournament given the format they were going for here.
Yeah.
And I should also specifically point out that this is, as far as I understand, it's a mixture of classical martial arts films, like somewhere like I say classical. Specifically Jackie Chan martial arts films,
Yeah.
but they're mostly leaning into Wuxia style films.
Yeah.
Which is a over the top martial arts movie.
When he told me that about the Wuxia, I didn't know that. I thought he was joking. I thought it was actually like a BS like type of like skill set or I thought he was joking. No, it's actually real. I didn't know this.
Yeah, I want to say it's a style of filmmaking that is unique to Hong Kong. Specifically Hong Kong filmmaking.
Really? Are you serious?
I want to say Hong Kong filmmaking. If not, it's a Chinese specific film style.
Yeah.
Like how in America we have unique to us. We have westerns. Those are specifically I want to say.
Western, not in my category, that's for sure.
Not mine either, but I know that it's like, if you're watching American cinema, the bread and butter of it is either
Gotcha.
westerns or dysfunctional families. Those are that usually work.
Yes, you're right about that. Yes.
In Japan, it's basically Japan has their over the top cinema too, but I forget what the exact name of it is. But it's way more over the top than Wuxia films. But they also dive way to the weirder side of filmmaking. It's like when I say weirder side, I mean it's like
weird.
The concepts they come up with for some of the conflicts and some of the enemies, they're supposed to be more philosophical issues.
Alright.
As far as this is from my understanding of like what few live action films that I have seen, and I want to say they don't focus too heavy on the martial arts. If you actually want to get something close to Wuxia, think of Power Rangers.
Oh God.
Those are
Jesus.
That's very close to Wuxia, but it's not one-to-one Wuxia.
Yeah, because I remember watching it now.
Yeah.
It is very cheesy.
Yeah. And granted, Power Rangers by Sentai or Kamen Riders are meant for a much younger demographic, but there is a style of filmmaking that they have an adult bent to.
Yeah.
I think Devilman is another example, which God, that movie gives me PTSD for all the craziest reasons. I don't know if you're ever going to watch that one.
I've never even heard of it.
I didn't hear about it till like recently, and when I saw some of it and a few plots that came out, I'm like, this one's going to have to be like I'm going to need more than one drink to get through this one.
Ooh, Jesus. Oh God.
Because it is violent and taboo. It's basically like a shock factor movie based on a manga.
Okay.
And I still don't understand what the hell's going on in it.
Wow.
But that's completely beyond the point. What I'm getting at is that it's specifically a Wuxia film, and it is emulating that style while borrowing some elements from, I would argue, Jackie Chan films. which fits given what it's going for.
Oh yeah.
But Amy, continue what you're saying.
Yeah, and then the other person, the main person, I didn't understand why the hell he was in the movie was Matt. Why was he in there?
He's not a character from the games. I think he's just in there because what they were Christy, they actually had to dumb her character down for the movie.
Okay.
Because in the games, she's a British assassin and a cold-blooded one at that.
Okay.
She is canonically responsible for the murder of Helena Douglas, who actually does show up inside the movie, but she's at a younger age, as opposed to being like in her mid-20s.
Okay.
She's responsible for killing Helena's mom.
Jesus.
Even though her job was to kill Helena, her mom took a bullet for her. She then pretends to be Helena's bodyguard / butler in the game. She's hired to do so by the main bad of the movie, who actually is the main character, who actually is the main antagonist of the games. And she's only an assassin, but she's more like stoic. I think of it like if she was a Bond girl, but she was also James Bond.
Okay.
But she specifically takes on kill jobs.
Okay.
They made her a assassin / master thief in this movie.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Because they wanted to have a PG. Because I think this is PG-13.
Yeah, PG-13.
I want to PG-13.
Yeah, PG-13.
They want to have a PG-13 character, and she was way too sexual.
I was getting ready to say, I thought they really were going to make her sexual. I mean, like a lot of sexual because of the hotel scene.
Yes.
Because they were showing a lot of skin in that.
There's a lot of skin in that, but in the games, it's a lot more.
Good Lord.
It's not like they're showing a lot of skin. She wears more provocative clothes.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Because what people will watch this movie and think is that okay, it's a lot of TNA, it's a lot of exposed skin. But what it actually is that sometimes they wear costumes that are very over the top and just impractical.
That is true. Yes.
But that's half the fun.
Gotcha.
But I always remember this scene specifically. But when in her arcade ending for 4, she's at a strip club wearing like this dominatrix gear. Her target is this rich guy. He's at the club spending dollar bill, y'all. She comes on, does her set. He gets close to the stage. He's like watching very intently. Hands on the stage. He's just up there looking at her. She leans down, looks like she's about to give him a kiss or something like that. She pulls out this needle from her wrist, and her hand's like behind his head, so he's not seeing this.
Okay.
And she stabs him in the neck, and he dies standing up at the stage, and she just saunters straight off.
What?
Yeah, she's a cold-blooded killer.
Good Lord. Oh my God.
She also hates her employer, but once again, money's good. She also has a rivalry. She also has a rivalry with one of the characters in the game, Bayman, who is the muscle head for the villains at this game, at this movie, which is actually wrong because he wants that guy dead because he had Christy leave him for dead. It's a big, complicated mess when it comes to just these two characters. And in case you're wondering, yes, that's just 2 characters from the game franchise. Every character, for the most part, has that kind of complicated history with a character or a few characters in the game.
That's too complicated. Good Lord.
Which was why I say if they ever did take another shot at adapting the series to any kind of like passive viewing experience, it should be a series.
I was going to ask you, would you be okay with them doing a series if they did it?
Yes, and I thought about this a lot. I think an anime series would probably be for the best. Because this one thing the Team Ninja is a Japanese-based developer. I believe they do a lot of their animations in-house, and a lot of the animation has gotten a lot better in recent years. And I feel like if they get to a certain point, they could easily just produce their own series if they really wanted to.
Yes.
Because I want to say the lead writer of I mean this is one thing, complete side tangent. The lead writer of Team Ninja, I think his pen name is Ko.
Okay.
He actually is a legit like screenwriter.
Wow.
And I believe he has like 2 or 3 movies to his name.
That's it.
Yeah, he, like I said, they do mostly games, but he does have some screenwriting.
Okay.
What I remember most notably about him is that Team Ninja once again took a break from Dead or Alive Ninja Gaiden, I think like 2017, 2018, and they made a game called Neo. It's basically a Dark Souls-esque game. What I found out is that it's actually an adaptation of a script by famed Japanese director Akira Kurosawa.
Now who's that?
He's responsible for Seven Samurai.
Okay, I have heard of that.
Basically, a movie that inspired that one western for Clint Eastwood. I think it's like
Oh God, I never seen that movie. I know what you're talking about.
and he has like this filmography. He's considered one of the great directors. I found about him recently. I'm actually trying to get some of his movies together, but he's considered one. He's up there with like Stanley Kubrick, Spielberg, the guy who did Psycho. I forget his name.
Oh, I need to know.
I
Yeah.
forget exactly what his name was, but he's gonna plug me later. But he's considered up there as one of like the classical greats. Like you're going to study filmmaking, his movies are actually considered required viewing.
Oh really?
Yeah, that's how good
I would
stuff
need to
actually
see
is.
his movies to get an opinion because.
He also did Ronin. I believe know what he did.
Wait, which one?
Ronin.
Oh, Ronin?
Yeah, I want to say Ronin was one of the.
Oh, 47 Ronin?
Yeah, 47 Ronin. That was one of his.
The one with Keanu Reeves?
No, not Keanu Reeves. It's
the old one.
It's an older
Oh,
movie.
okay, my bad.
Remember, Kurosawa was directing back when movies were black and white.
Oh, yes, gotcha. Because I saw the one.
This dude was so insane. Side tangent, sorry. This guy was so insane. There was a movie that I was doing research on this guy for, and he had a movie where it's like he had this guy like running across like this balcony. He's trying to dodge like arrows and stuff, and the guy's supposed to be like like supposed to be scared. These guys are shooting you with arrows and whatnot. And the guy thought that it's going to be like, okay, arrows on a string, it's going to be pulled towards him. Apparently, before film, he told him that while he was up on balcony, oh, by the way, these guys are actually firing arrows at you, so you might want to duck.
Yo!
In the film, you see this guy look like he's actually shitting his pants because he's legitimately shitting his pants.
I would have quit I would have quit. Like, nah, I'm good.
Credit to where credit's due. He kept doing it. He did. I think he did do the takes, and it was actually him. And he came out later and said, "Oh yeah, I was just lying to you." But in that moment, the guy thought, "This man's legitimately going to kill me."
Yo.
Because I think what happened was the first arrow that was fired at him wasn't actually on a tether. But everyone after that was.
Oh my god.
Oh man, but yeah, no. But once again, going back to it, but it's like yeah. I would say if they did take another shot at making this series, I would say do an anime adaptation, especially since they're now actually focusing harder and harder on the narrative elements of the series.
Yeah.
I feel like Dead or Alive is about to go through a reboot sort of with this series, like how Mortal Kombat went for a reboot and Street Fighter for a reboot. I think once it was Street Fighter 4, so I feel like a reboot's on the way for that one. But once again, that's a side tangent for another time.
Yeah.
But where were we at again?
I was going to say the last person that I thought was weird, that didn't make any sense. The actor Eric Roberts, who played the character Donovan. Now he was supposed to be the villain in this, but my issue with this was he was so bulked up and toned that I thought he was going to really start like whooping tail. But the way they, again, with the fight scene, the Shuan, that
Wushan.
Wushan it looked so terrible when he was fighting at the very end.
Yes.
I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah, there were, and I would say that the action choreography, like with the exception of that one specific fight, I would say the choreography is legitimately on point for this kind of movie.
Yeah, okay.
Which I remember I said that like halfway through the end of the film.
You did, yeah, sure.
And you said you got it. I said screw you, Brad. I think you said screw you, Brad.
Yeah, no, yeah. I was like, yeah, I did. I was just like, I was like, because see, like, I had like two different emotions going through this. So it was like half like what the fuck, and then at the other point it was like I was entertained. Like I was actually having fun with this movie. I was like, how am I having fun with this movie? And it's so horrible in my eyes, but it works. It works for what it is. Cause they had moments, like I said, moments like that. It was just like the fighting, and then like some of the dialogue that they were saying was really off, and but it worked at the same time. I know that sounds crazy saying that, but it worked in this movie in particular. So I like overall I had a blast with this movie. Yeah. Surprisingly, and Brad was surprised as well because he thought I was gonna hate the movie like the whole entirety because I was just talking mad junk about this movie the whole entire time.
Yeah, I was legit because you know it's like you know, and I understand, I recognize that the film has elements that is like yeah, by today's standards or even by the standards of the day it came out, this would be considered a bad film, but I strangely like it, and I was ready to have this conversation with you.
Yes.
But when we stopped the film, you said that was no that you said I actually like that film. I'm like, wait, what?
yeah, because I actually did. I couldn't even explain because like again like it was cheesy, but it worked, and like I was still entertained because some of the moments were funny. Even though they were outrageous, it was still hilarious to me. I don't know why. It's just like certain movies like that. If it gets like that, I will be entertained. I was entertained. I was like, okay. I mean, this movie is what it is. It was funny, and like you had like that one guy mask who just kept appearing out of nowhere like a magician.
Yeah, he just showed up.
Yeah, cause like now this isn't the specific order, but I remember one he popped up in the bedroom and then it cut to like another scene somewhere where he just popped up and ended up in the like underground in the vault. I'm like, where did you come from?
Yeah, he just kind of drops in and out of the movie at random points.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think what would have solved that issue is if once again they hadn't tried to make all the named characters in the movie be in the tournament.
Yeah.
If they had to have it be like a basic like because you know because once again him stealing the robbery is actually a B plot in the movie. The A plot is Kasumi's trying to find her brother.
Yeah, I did see that. I did catch on to that. But I didn't know whether that part, like you said, the B plot. I didn't know whether the Max thing was the B plot. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, so. That's the B plot of the movie.
Good
main plot,
Lord, I would never guess that.
The main plot of the movie is Kasumi is trying to find her brother who disappeared.
Yeah, out of nowhere.
Not disappeared. He joined a Dead or Alive tournament.
Yeah.
Which is weird because canonically in the games, the tournament she fights in is the very first one.
Wow.
So once again they pretend like this is like a thing that's been going on, but like. Canonically in the games, and we're up to Dead or Alive 6 now. Canonically in the games, I think there's only been 6 tournaments.
Wait, out of all the games?
Yeah, all the Dead or Alive games, there's only been 6
That's
tournaments.
it? Wow, I would have expected more.
And there are, and once again, no, so it's like, it is 1 tournament per game.
Okay.
But even though it's 6 tournaments, Kasumi herself, as my memory serves correct, has only participated in like 2 of them.
Wow, that's surprising me.
Yeah, I think after the second, and once again, I have to go back through and replay the games, but I think it's hinted at like the main story mode of each game. A lot of the characters have only participated in like 2 or 3 tournaments back and forth. I legitimately believe only the Bruce Lee character of the series.
Okay.
But you see him briefly inside the movie, but it's like, you know, he's just dressed in like the Bruce Lee costume.
Yeah.
You know, the yellow jumpsuit essentially.
Yeah.
That guy has a weird ass backstory to him too. Basically, he taught himself how to fight like Bruce Lee watching Bruce Lee movies.
That is very.
Yeah. It's just weird. It's I want to say it's him. Not even Zach actually. He only participated in like 3 of them. Yeah, he participated in 2. And then so the Bruce Lee character, it's his rival in the series because she's trying to prove that she can beat him in a fight.
Okay.
And Tina. And I want to say one other character has canonically fought in all the Dead or Alive tournaments. So it's kind of weird to really think about that. Like everyone's fought in a tournament at one point, but very few have fought in all of them.
Gotcha.
But yeah, they treat it like it's been like this long ongoing thing. It's not.
Yeah.
It's just not.
Wow. What was the last thing I wanted to say? Oh, the last thing I wanted to say about this. First thing I said, I will probably rewatch this again because I was entertained by this.
Yeah.
Secondly, he told me something before the movie started. There was a messed up ending that scars you for life, and other people that know the Dead Alive series and franchise. And so when I saw the whole movie of its entirety, I didn't know what he was talking. I still didn't know what he was talking about until he explained it to me. So I'll have you explain that part.
Yeah. So what happened was, as the movie was winding down, and Donovan gets like his stupid looking sunglasses, which was what you were hating the entire time, which
Yes.
understandable. I thought it was stupid too. That plot point never showed up in the games at all. You were going, this is terrible. And the whole time I'm going, it gets worse. It gets worse. It gets worse. It gets worse.
It got worse.
And it gets worse. The movie ends with our seven characters. So we have Hayabusa, who's supposed to be Ryu from Ninja Gaiden, who they dumped him down like, oh my god, they dumped him down. Like, look at this. Simply including Ryu in the game, in the movies, would have jumped the rating of the movie from PG-13 to R. Whoa. If they were being one-to-one with who his character was, it would have jumped the movie from PG-13 to R. But they dumped him down to make him a love interest for Kasumi. No, I am not joking.
Good lord.
And I'll explain that in a little bit. Then we have Ayani, who is the rival character for Kasumi in the game as well as in the movie. She's the purple-haired ninja who is supposed to be subservient to Kasumi as the clan lead. Okay, makes sense. I get that. And then you have Hayate. Then you have Christy and Max. Yeah. Those are and Tina. So those are 7 characters who we followed in the movie, and then who in the movie with. Of those 7, 6 of them are like depicted as couples at the end. At the end. Okay, fine. If you know nothing about Dead or Alive, that's where it ends.
Yeah,
that's where it ends. You're fine. You're okay. If you know anything about Dead or Alive, you know that they got something terribly wrong with that scene. So in the games, as of the second game, it's shown an opening cinematic. You know, I have like these like CG openings for games that kind of like get you excited for the game about to play, get you into it. Yeah, so Dead or Alive 2 is set to Dream On by, I forget the band's name, but it's set to a heavy metal band. It's set to a metal song called Dream On. So it was like Dream On, you know. That's all I can say. For copyright strike. And I've only heard the song once inside this game, and the opening is a montage cinematic showing off all the characters, but it focuses specifically on the ninjas, specifically on Hayate, Kasumi, and Ayani as young kids. We see a flashback scene of Hayate and Kasumi with their mother, and her mother is staring at this. She has this PTSD moment, and we see in that moment that she was sexually assaulted by the main antagonist of the first game. We find out later that this main antagonist is actually Hayate and Kasumi's uncle. So their mother got assaulted by their uncle.
That's nasty.
From that assault, Ayame, which is the name of the mother, she gives birth to a child. That child grows up to be an ostracized character in the village. She is hated because of how she was conceived and the person who conceived her. Now, while this is going on, Kasumi has formed a friendship with Ayani. So in the movies they're rivals, but in the games, while they were rivals, they were once the best of friends. To the point where one could legitimately say they were, basically sisters.
Yeah.
Ayani basically wore her hair like her, like Kasumi, had a ribbon like Kasumi. She basically dressed and followed her around. That's what's depicted in the games.
Yeah.
And then we find out that Ayane is Kasumi and Hayate's half-sister / cousin.
That gets worse.
In the movie, they depict Ayane as being romantically involved with Hayate, to the point where they even share a heated kiss in the movie. And
that scarred me after that.
That scarred me when I saw it. Especially when they hinted that she was in love with him. But it's just, if you know anything about the games, you know that the worst that happens with that is that she's basically trying to reconcile after learning the truth that she might have had a crush on her brother. And that's why she's very much like mentally, or that's what's implied.
She's messed up.
She has issues. Luckily, they worked past it in the games.
Okay, that's good.
I think by like 3 or 4, by 4, she's basically over it. She's basically over it. She's moved on.
Okay, that's good.
So
I'm glad she does. Okay.
But they do like touch upon like that one act has screwed that family up in a completely twisted way.
I
Like,
can see why, because that was
Yeah.
when you told me that.
Yeah.
When I went back to the scene, my mind like, ew.
but one thing where it's like if a better director had gotten their hands, or at least a better screenwriter, because they get so much right in this movie about about the game.
Yeah.
Because Dead or Alive. This is actually what I was trying to get out earlier. The movie is a kind of a misleading title. It's actually a celebration of the game series and Ninja Gaiden up to that point, because it is three game plots wrapped into one movie.
Oh wow. I didn't know that.
It's Kasumi's revenge plot, which was only against her uncle, who doesn't show up at all in this movie.
No.
I wonder why. It's Kasumi's revenge plot. It's trying to find Hayate, which happened in 2, happened in the second game. That was their plot in that one. It's taking down Victor Don, which was supposed to be leading in from 3 into 4. So technically, it's actually 4 game plot. Now I'm thinking about it. It shows Ninja Gaiden-esque moments where you have Ryu fighting a whole bunch of ninja by himself, which is actually what Ninja Gaiden is. It's you against a bunch of enemies who can kick your ass. There's beheading, there's delimbing, there's blood, there's evisceration. You know, it's like it literally got to a point where, like in Ninja Gaiden 2, if you cut off an enemy's limb, any limb whatsoever, you actually made that enemy more dangerous. Like, you would think that, like, okay, because you see them, like, moving slowly, they're kind of hobbling, they can't get to you. But what you've just done is you've just given them permission to take away half your health bar in a suicide attack. That's what you've done if you have not killed them in that point.
Wow.
They carried it over with 3 as well. But it's him versus, like, a bunch of ninja, which for some reason, Donovan has a bunch of ninja, which I think will be I think it's supposed to be a reference to the fact he's cloning Kasumi inside the games, but I don't know!
Okay.
It's just weird, but it's so much wrapped up into one that I can see why it's disjointed. I can see why it's the way it is. And then they have the extreme beach volleyball scene in there.
Yeah.
Which is something that does happen in the spin-off games. It's mostly supposed to be just a relaxing vacation. It's not supposed to be taken seriously. It's just an excuse to ogle, polygonal tits.
Gotcha.
And surprisingly, the volleyball mechanics were actually surprisingly good.
Okay.
Why they were that good, I don't freaking know, but they actually were. But once again, Kasumi's revenge plot, trying to find Hayate. It's the assault on Doatek. It's Helena basically learning the truth about her father's murder, which happened in 3, I think. It's just a lot that didn't need to be inside this film.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was supposed to be a celebration of Team Ninja catalog at the time, and I'm wondering if the series creator had any involvement in this, because he's a very eclectic kind of man. I believe his last name is Itagaki. He ended up getting fired from Team Ninja after 4, did his own thing. I don't know what he's doing now, but it's a whole lot that they got right. That when they get things wrong, oh dear God, do they get things wrong? Like. I just got to talk about Ayani kissing her brother. But another thing they got wrong is Helena. Helena is supposed to be an accomplished soprano opera singer in the series. She's like 26, but they made her like this 21-year-old valley girl because she's supposed to be 26 from France. She has a very thick French accent.
Wow.
But for some reason she's 21 and she has a close relationship with her father, which I don't think was actually a thing inside the games. I think she's actually the daughter of a mistress. It's never alluded if her mother is this dude's wife, I believe.
Okay.
I want to say she's like one of his many children from, well, not many, but 2 confirmed children from mistresses. So I don't know what's going on there, but they made her randomly plot a little bit by giving her a passcode to a vault that's on her neck for some freaking reason. I don't know why. That was just not a thing. They made Donovan randomly buff when he's supposed to be this science dude. They made this really cringy nerd character that I just like. Can we please kill him off and get back to the actual stuff? It's just there's a lot wrong and but there's just enough right that I can forgive it. Like Zach, they got him so right.
From how you explain, yeah, they did. They got him perfect.
Bass, Tina's father, they got him. They
He's funny.
They toned him down a bit. That they leaned hard into him being like awkward dad humor, like awkward like. He's overprotective in the game to the point of it's like you're smothering your daughter, kind of overprotective because she's like 20 something, she has her own career.
Yeah.
But in this one, he's overprotective, but he's like this like loving dork.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah,
it's like of all the characters you changed and adapted, his made the most sense, and it worked the best. And the actor they got to play him, oh my God, this man.
He's hilarious.
It's like my favorite scene is like when Christy's staying in Tina's room because Christy's fight with Leon broke hers. And it's like Tina, like Christy's like making Tina out to be like a lesbian with her.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I'm sleeping naked under the covers. And Matt's like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt this special friend. And he's like, I was like, well, don't worry, honey, we'll have this tomorrow. He's like, nice meeting you, Miss Christy. And I'm just like, I'm dying at this guy.
That was too funny. That was too funny.
Because they got him right down to the fact that he has a brown beard and blonde hair. You know, the costumes are right. Every character at some point is wearing like the one-to-one costume from the game.
Yeah.
Even have the one-to-one hairstyle, including Zach's stupid ass.
Mohawk.
Thing that's dyed green. But yeah, it's just, oh God, I can watch this movie, but I have to tell my inner fanboy to shut the fuck up.
Oh yeah. You have to. Yeah,
and I have to be in a very specific mood to watch this movie.
Yeah.
It's $5 for the Blu-ray.
It's actually worth it. I ain't gonna lie.
And at that price, it legitimately is worth it.
Yeah.
On the cover, they even advertise it being the best video game adaptation ever, well, up to date, and I have to say, for 2006 standards.
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
Yes, it was.
Because I was entertained throughout that.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, I don't know how it was, but I was.
Because the reason why I said is I remember the original Mortal Kombat movie being a little bit more over the top, but a lot cheaper. Once again, that came out in like the late 90s, so that can be forgiven. So yeah, if you're a Dead or Alive fan, let me know what you think of this movie, if you've seen it or if you've even heard of it. If you're not a fan and you have seen this movie, what do you think of it? After what we've talked about, is this a movie you kind of want to check out just to see what we're talking about? I think you can rent it on YouTube for like $2.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let y'all in a bit of a secret. You can actually find the whole movie on YouTube for free, but it's split into like 12 parts. So if you just don't want to shell the money out, just go that route.
It's 12 parts.
And this was, this was uploaded back when YouTube only let you upload 10-minute segments of a movie, of videos.
Yeah.
So that's why I split it into 12 parts.
Gotcha.
I think it's 13, but still, check it out if you're curious. Just type in Dead or Alive movie. Get some popcorn. Maybe do some puff, you know what I'm saying? Maybe have a little sip of something and just sit back and enjoy. That's all I can really say about this movie.
That's basically it.
Oh boy. Anyway, but my closing thought is that I want to kind of finish up by saying I think the reason why this movie was the way it is because they were trying to target an American audience.
Yeah, because as an American, I was entertained.
And I'm saying that now because nowadays, the whole targeted audience thing is becoming less and less of an idea.
Oh, of course it is.
Where people are just more like they're more chasing trends now, but there are more. But I think more and more directors are doing their own thing, and more foreign films are getting released.
Some are, not a lot.
Not a lot, but they're getting released. If not in theaters, then definitely on streaming services, where you can more easily see them. So more people are more open to seeing different things.
Yes.
So yeah, that's why I think about the movie overall.
Yeah, and y'all already heard my opinion about it. I was entertained by it, and I probably will watch this again just for entertainment purposes.
And that's gonna be it for this episode of Silver Screening. So we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Deuces.